let's move on to the second email of the day. And the second email today comes to us from Dave Farley, who writes, okay, so I'm a bit confused. I thought that Disney was buying Fox, but I read on Twitter that Fox just announced they're still calling their company Fox even after Disney takes over all their assets. What's going on? What am I missing here? All right, thanks a lot, Dave. And you know what? As much as this whole thing about Disney taking over Fox and a bunch of their assets, the movie division, as exciting as it's been for a bunch of people, it's also been very confusing for a lot of people. A lot of people have been really confused about this whole thing at this point. And sometimes little bits of news that come out just add to the confusion. What he's talking about, for those of you who don't know what he's mentioning, is that Fox just had a big shareholders meeting at which they announced the name of the company that is going to be remaining. Remember, Disney's not taking over everything that Fox has. They're just taking over a bunch of Fox assets. The remnants are still going to be there. And a lot of people are wondering, what's the name of this Fox company going to be? Well, at the shareholders meeting, they announced the name of this brand new company after the Disney takeover. The name of the company that is left over after Disney takes away all the stuff is Fox. Yes, that's right. The name of the company is still going to be Fox. So what that tells us is a couple of things. Number one, it tells us that, hey, you know what? And we've known this the whole time, but it kind of puts an exclamation point on it, that this company, Fox, is still moving full ahead. They still have a lot of their own assets. They still have many of their own divisions, and they are going to be doing their own things separate from Disney. Disney's buying a bunch of their assets, but they're not buying all of it. And what's left is still going to be, in their thought, a thriving company that will still be called Fox. The second thing that this kind of tells us is that many people have been speculating whether or not when Disney takes over like 20th Century Fox and the film divisions, whether they will just keep the name Fox. Well, apparently they can't, because Fox is still going to be called Fox. To clear it up a little bit, Variety has an article on this, and this is one of the excerpts from that article. Here's what Variety said. They said, now that 20th Century Fox film and prestige label Fox Searchlight belong to Disney, or at least it will pretty soon, because remember, it's not all finalized yet, but it will pretty soon. It resurfaces an interesting question about the viability of those brand names surviving under Bob Iger's roof. Bob Iger is, of course, the chairman and CEO of Disney. One theory floated on the ground by chatty meeting attendees, this is, of course, at the shareholders meetings, Disney could simply kill the Fox name in each title, leaving the labels as 20th Century and Searchlight. So 20th Century and Searchlight. So now that's not saying for sure that Disney is even going to keep these companies intact. I am personally of the opinion, I think what Disney's going to do probably is strip them for parts. I think they're basically going to take all those assets, strip them for parts, and then use all the various different assets throughout the different Disney properties. But one of the options that is available to Disney is to, hey, just keep 20th Century together as its own division and let them function. Just take out the name Fox and just call it 20th Century, and that's the name of this film division. And just take the name Fox out of Searchlight and just call it Searchlight. That's going to be one of our indie film arms, one of our prestige film arms. That's something they could do, which is possible. Again, I'm just kind of in the mindset right now that I think what they're going to do, although I have nothing to back this up. This is just my own pure speculation. What I think they're going to do is probably strip those entities for parts and then distribute the assets amongst their different divisions. But I could be wrong about that. It's going to be interesting to see how they handle this moving forward. How do you think Disney is going to handle all these Fox assets they're picking up? Jump down into the comment section below and let me know your thoughts.